Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 3 of the Creator Shooters podcast. This week, we've got a new guest, the Australian sensation himself, Thomas, has
Right.
joined the podcast,
I like that, bro.
the
Australian
first official
sensation.
episode. This week, main topic here is TikTok. Apparently, it is, probably going to get banned. I would say within the next week or so, it will probably be banned in the U.S. Thomas, I heard that it was supposed to be banned in Australia too. Like they were thinking about it there
Yeah,
as well.
it's a bit more sort of blurred because our consumer law and stuff like that is pretty different.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is supposed to, but it doesn't it doesn't mean a lot. Like I don't know
Yeah,
if they'll do it.
I'm not surprised by this because I remember seeing stuff months ago about how much data TikTok collects over
Yeah.
other social media apps. And especially with it being like a Chinese-based company that made the app. I mean, I can't really say I'm too surprised by it. I I think TikTok is like a really great form of social media. Like Thomas, you have like some skewed view of what it actually is. Jayden doesn't use it.
I don't have
It's
it.
Vine. It's Vine.
Yeah, it basically is.
But it's
But
long
I
Except
videos.
they could be longer. Yeah.
yeah, I think a lot of people are turned away from it because of like the stereotype that it's all like a bunch of girls dancing
Bad
to
kids.
songs. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's just the stereotype with it. But like it literally is just Vine, and then with that stuff added on, because you can do like the music and stuff with it, because that's how
Yeah.
it started out. It started as Musically, so that's where it all came from. But I think like that sort of app, because it's different from Vine, really, at least in terms of the interface and how it worked. Because it just recommends you videos based on other ones that you like. A
Right.
lot of it is based on like hashtags and stuff that you use. So like if you like a video with a certain hashtag, you're more likely to get other ones that use that hashtag. Um, so I think it was a lot better than Vine in terms of that, because you got stuff that you usually liked, instead of on
Yeah.
Vine it was mainly by like category or what was popular uh, at that
Yeah.
time.
Vine sort of just had like its shitty front page, and
Mm-hmm.
then you would just go to creators you wanted to see, and then just scroll and scroll and scroll and
Yeah.
scroll.
So I think TikTok's like a really great app in terms of like people trying to get exposure at least quickly. I do think it's one of those apps where the I guess the strength of the followers isn't really the greatest. Because like if you have like 100,000 followers on TikTok, that's obviously worse than having 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Mm.
Like that doesn't translate really. I've seen plenty of TikTok accounts that have like 500,000 followers, and then they have their YouTube, like they're mainly YouTubers, and then you go to their YouTube and they got like not even 2,000 subscribers. Like they don't translate
Yeah, it doesn't
very
translate.
well.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like you could have a YouTuber that has over 1 million subscribers, but they only have like a couple 100,000 followers on Twitter. But they're much
Yeah,
better off.
that happens. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
they're
happens
much
a
better
lot.
off than someone that just has Twitter and has the same amount of followers.
Yeah,
So I do think it's like good in terms of people trying to gain exposure, but it doesn't hold the same weight as other platforms. Um,
well, my main man, Ninja, good old Tyler Blevins. Did you see his tweet about it? Or
I saw him
uh,
like replying to tweets about like asking questions of what if he should actually delete it or not. And I
right.
saw
So
that
he
he did
did.
delete it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And his tweet says, I have deleted the TikTok app off all my devices. Hopefully, a less intrusive company, and then data farming in little parentheses,
Mm-hmm.
that isn't owned by China can recreate the concept legally. Such funny and amazing content on the app from influencers. Ugh. Um. So yeah, like I think if somebody, especially in the US, where like private industry is a good thing, recreated the app in a similar fashion, then it'd be good because then it also just wouldn't be owned by a country that just kills people. But you know,
Doesn't Instagram have something like that? You said, Logan?
Yeah, in India, since TikTok's already
Yeah.
banned,
Okay.
yeah,
Instagram, they have started a new thing. It's called Instagram Reels, and it
mm,
works apparently exactly the same as TikTok. So I mean that,
I'm not surprised. Yeah,
yeah, you would expect one of the bigger,
Oh.
already established social media platforms to pick up something
Instagram's the
like
main
that.
one that does it. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
they
Yeah, they
because
got the
they
stories
like
off of Snapchat.
yeah, Snapchat stories went straight into Instagram. Yep, that was like that's the main thing, and Instagram used to be dreadful to use.
Hmm.
Oh god, it was so bad. It was you just like the search function still doesn't work very well.
Not at all.
And then you're just like you just go through, you're just scrolling and it's like the interface is it's the most like, hey, you're on mobile and it should be easy to use thing like ever made. It's like, oh,
yeah.
the only things you can do are scroll, press, and double tap. And it's like it doesn't there's no website for it on the like on a computer other than going to individual posts and then pages from those posts. Like, oh man.
I think
But yeah,
it's
I'm not surprised that Facebook did that.
yeah. Instagram is a very weird app in terms of how people like post on it and stuff. It's not
Mhm.
the same as other things because I think a lot of people, I don't know, take it a little more serious than like Twitter or something where they can just throw
Yeah.
something
Definitely.
up because there's a lot more stuff on Twitter. So them tweeting something, it kind of floods all in, and it's not, you know, a limited amount of pictures that you're seeing.
Instagram, I don't know if it's the same with you guys, but I do not use the explore page like at all.
Oh no, I
I don't use
like
it. No.
I'll accidentally tap on it
And
sometimes, and
just
I'll
rapidly
see
tap off.
I'll see a post, and I'll be like, oh shit, let me look at that, and then I'll just go away from it. Like that's not what I was trying to
Yeah.
do.
Same with like Twitter. It's not like very attractive in terms of like finding stuff. I know they just, I don't know, recently separated into like sports and entertainment and news and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that. But still, it's not like, I know it's entirely different, but like TikTok, you live on the For You page. You don't live on the explore page on Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Twitter's one like is always changing. That's a big thing.
mm-hmm.
Every now and then I'm like, oh, I just got this piece of news that I didn't know before just now. One of the big things that Twitter unfortunately can deliver very fast is celebrity deaths. Um, that's
That's
like up
TMZ.
there on the that's up there on the pages
Mhm. Yeah.
very quickly. Um, but it's like the Snapchat Discover page. Like, I think you should be charged with a crime for viewing any content on the Snapchat
Dude,
Discover
that
page.
thing is so weird. I
It
I
is
barely
terrible.
use Snapchat, but like the only thing I do is look at people's stories, and the Discover page is right
Yeah,
below that,
yep,
and all
yep.
I see is like a bunch of TikTokers that are have like Snapchat
Yes.
deals, and they're on
Yeah.
there, and then I just click on it and block their account, so then I never see it again. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I don't even want it there. Like, even though I'm not gonna look at it, why is it even there?
It's so bad.
I
Like
think that's
the
so
stuff there
weird.
like is like lowest common denominator YouTube garbage of like prank gone sexual. Like that's what's on the
Yeah.
Snapchat Discover page.
Do you guys
It's
know
crazy.
from Vine, Brandon Riviera? You remember him?
Yes, I think I know
I
who
know
you're
the
talking about.
Mm-hmm.
name.
I think
His
so.
brother's name's Anthony. I guess he's kind of big on TikTok. On Snapchat, I'm not subscribed. I don't know, subscribed or follow or whatever. I'm not subscribed to him. Every single day, there's Anthony Riviera, and I don't know. You could pick like the cover
Yeah.
that you want to show, and it's always like a stretched out like bubble that says Coke, and he's holding Mentos with scissors. It says Coke will happen every single day, and you click on it. It's not even about it. It's the same exact picture every single day.
What will happen?
It's like, what were you
I
think?
don't know.
Or like the fitness accounts. It's like gym mobs or something. It's like they always like, it's like a meme. It's like 11-year-old lifts 700 pounds, and it's like a funny picture.
Oh my
for the
god.
cover. Just because they want you to click on it. But it's,
Yeah.
That's exactly why. That's exactly the reason they want you to click on it. They want you to watch it.
I always see
It draws
drama
attention.
alert in mine. And like I
Yeah.
think
I
it's
see
so
drama too,
weird
yeah.
how many people like actually look at those to make it worthwhile for these companies to like buy their way to that page. Because Keemstar is obviously paying money for him to be featured there.
I feel like
there's
it
no
would
way he's
be
not.
his like if he's part of a network. I'm not sure if he is, but if he's part of an MCN, they'd be doing it.
Mm.
But like it couldn't be that much money because there's no way like people are actually like, oh yeah, new Keemstar video on Snapchat. I'm gonna press that. Like...
And then like you click through like two of the because you know it only goes by 15 seconds. They can't just let the whole video go.
Yep.
and there's always these annoying ads. Bro.
Yeah, you click through two of them,
Yep.
so you go through 30 seconds, and then there's an ad, and then you click through two more and another ad. Like
It's like always like a 15-second ad too, at least.
it's so weird. Like
you try to skip it, and it flashes at the top. You can't skip for 5 seconds. For 4 seconds, it won't let you.
I think Snapchat is so weird, dude. Snapchat is so weird to me.
And that's the nice thing
I've
about
always-
TikTok is
I've
like
always hated
TikTok is easy to use, and you basically like I think Tom, you said this earlier. You basically live off of the For You page. Like you just keep scrolling
But
and scrolling.
that was Jayden. But yeah.
Okay, Jen. Yeah, but you basically just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, like, and you could do that for hours on end.
I think the videos that it recommends to you, like it's very accurate.
Yeah, it is.
Like it's weird, and it's
Well,
I mean,
the Chinese government probably paid a lot of money.
Does
for
Yeah.
it
that
go
algorithm.
back to the data mining?
yeah, that could go back to the data mining where they're just like they could be seeing like what you're looking up on Safari and then be like, hey, let's recommend him a TikTok video of that. Like,
So-
it could do
that's
that,
definitely
but
part of it. Yeah.
So just
like-
have TikTok turn into like Google or like Google ads.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, but TikTok pulls more. That's
yeah,
what's crazy.
it pulls
That's
a
why
lot.
they wanna get
It's
rid of
so
it.
weird.
If you could measure like the data traffic like over a month compared to other apps, it'd be huge with what it's taking from you. And when people see like, oh, it's tracking people, they're like, oh, do they just go through all the videos of like all these people dancing? No, they pull data from your phone.
Yeah.
Like they don't just go,
Just
oh
go
look,
through-
they have an American flag in the background in that video. Like,
Yeah.
I
So is
don't-
this just like coming out now that they're data mining a lot? Because
No, like I
No.
said, I had heard it months ago that
Yeah.
like
I was just
it
gonna
was
say-
a lot more.
I heard in a TMG podcast, it was like the end of last year that it was bad then, and
Yeah.
people were getting like sued
yeah.
for it. Or
People have
whatever.
been
I don't
saying
know.
it since it sort of popped up after Musically died. And it's been like in the back of people's minds, like, oh, like people who know what they're talking about with this being owned by China are like, yeah, it's owned by China, so sort of red flag there, but also there's no evidence. But people have reverse engineered the app now, and it's like, yeah, has a lot of logging stuff in it. So great.
And it doesn't help that like it has turned into such a huge platform that
Yeah,
it's obviously like people's attention is going towards it. So, you know,
I feel bad. I saw this tweet and it was funny and it's absolutely true. It's like, what are the TikTok kids that have no talent? What are they gonna do once the app dies?
well, I mean, at least like, dude, Addison Rae has like almost the same amount of followers on TikTok than she has on Instagram at this point. Like those type of people that have like over like 25 million followers on TikTok, like they're celebrities. Like
But like what you're
celebrities.
saying, the people that don't that have a lot but isn't considered a lot for TikTok, they
Mhm.
can't just go and start a YouTube channel because it's not going
Yeah.
to translate.
Well, I mean, I've said this before that like a lot of, I mean, I know that not everyone wants to try out every form of social media, but if you're on TikTok, you would think that you would at least be on something else
Yeah.
Yeah.
to like,
But like that's
Mhm.
the point, right? Like that's what you should do. Don't put
Yeah.
all your eggs in one basket. Like that's one of the first rules of any kind of social media
And
influencing from
it's at
anybody.
least if you care about how many followers you have. Like if people have a bunch of
Yeah.
followers on TikTok and they don't care about it, they just did it because they like making TikToks, then I mean, that's just bad luck. And it's like, hey, I like doing it, but I don't want to do it on any other platform.
But if
But
people
Yeah.
know that this is most likely gonna end soon, they should, if they don't have one, they should start it now. Like when
yeah,
Vine ended,
Mm.
Mhm.
there was Cody Ko and Noel Miller. At least I'm sure there was a lot more that went
Drew
straight to
Gooden is another
YouTube.
one.
And
yeah,
yeah,
we're
they,
good.
they they carried that huge following with them, and they're still relevant today because of that.
Yeah, like a
Logan
lot.
Paul, Jake Paul.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
mean, there were a lot of them
I
that
just named the
went.
two that I watched. I don't watch anybody else.
There were a lot of them
Lele
that went
Pons.
straight to YouTube, but then there was also a lot that went in like different routes. Like Lele Pons makes music, and she's like a huge Latin
Yeah.
star, like ridiculous.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of people
She
that
does Instagram, YouTube, and
yeah,
music stuff now. Yeah.
instead of like going straight to YouTube, it was more of focus on Instagram and posting videos there. They
Yeah.
tried to take advantage of the explore page and stuff on there, and just people following them from Vine.
And
And
people do.
yeah,
You can
and
make.
they probably make
I've
a
just.
shitload of
You can
money
make
for their
the most
posts.
unfunny thing ever made. And
Yeah,
people were like, "Yeah, I'll fucking follow that." Like.
I think, and
So
they, I think a lot of those people that went to Instagram, I think there were some of them that weren't funny in the first place when they were on Vine, but they got
Yeah.
a lot more unfunny because they actually had to think about it because it's longer than 6 seconds. Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you actually have to, you know, formulate a joke or something,
if it's paid, they somehow have to incorporate an ad.
oh yeah, they got to incorporate a brand in it too.
Oh.
That's the
Yeah,
worst.
definitely.
That's the worst.
But like you can tell when they've when they transition from Vine comedy to like Instagram or YouTube because
Yeah.
they'll make a long form video, but they will have short jokes in different scenes in those
Mhm.
videos. Like so they'll have the mindset of making up a Vine joke
Yeah.
and then just being like, okay, we'll put that one there in the video. And a good example is like Lele Pons like college one. Have you guys seen that? I
Oh yeah, I
It's
think I
like
know which one you're
awful.
talking about.
Is there a Cody Co video of him watching it?
I think so.
I
If it's not
Yeah, I
his
think that's the
video, they talked
thing.
about it on the podcast for sure.
Yeah, okay. And it's like there's just random equals funny jokes and all the jokes that are probably they're not funny but would be the funniest if you were into that kind of sense of humor would be just short form quick ones that
Yeah.
happen where it's like, oh, why did that happen? And Vine didn't give you a chance to think about it because it's just over,
Hmm.
like it doesn't drag on and they have to try and continue the story past the joke. And then, with Vine, it's like, bang, it's done. Next video.
Yeah. TikTok is different in that regard, like where in
Yeah.
Vine it was over instantly and you didn't really get to think about it. TikTok you can make up to 1 minute, but like
Mhm.
some of them are insanely funny and like people actually
Yeah.
think out jokes and stuff. And I think a lot more of the tools that you have where like you can put stuff on the screen or music playing, stuff like that just adds to it. So I don't see why any other like Instagram wouldn't jump on that opportunity to make something just like it
Yeah.
to just keep growing their stuff. Like Instagram is the most
Mhm.
used social media now anyways, and it'll probably grow even more if they actually go through with Reels being in every country. I don't actually know exactly how it
If
works.
they've already made the stuff for it and then TikTok gets banned, they will instantly push it to the app. Like
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
they won't wait for it.
They're gonna be losing out on a lot of money if they don't. So
But like I am I the only one here who hates Facebook as a company more than Google, or like I
I'm
because
on
I
and
feel
off
like
with
Google
Facebook. It's
actually
weird.
does stuff for me. Like all my stuff is connected in Chrome. They made Chrome.
Mhm.
Android is theirs. Like all this, it's all Google account integration. I can use Chrome Remote Desktop. All this stuff, and then Facebook at every turn has just like made Facebook worse. Like the website Facebook. Instagram is just like this strange like melting pot of ideas that it works a lot of the time and for the people who use it. But like you look at Twitter, there's actually a search that works, and like while the UI might be simple, there's a lot you can do with it. There's
Mhm.
nothing worse than using an app and you go to settings and there's like 8 total settings on the app that don't mean anything. Have you seen the privacy settings on Facebook? Like
Mm,
I,
for
dude, I
them
haven't.
like collecting information from you?
I don't
I
have
have.
Facebook,
Dude, I
bro.
haven't been
Yeah, I
on
don't have
Facebook
Facebook
in
either.
years, bro.
I looked at it on my mum's Facebook because I'm not even kidding. Her phone would just be on like the home screen of just her normal like shit for a phone, like not any apps open. And she would get pop-up ads that covered the screen that were from Facebook.
What?
I had never seen this
Oh my
before.
god.
This happened. I assure you this happened. And I was like, is this what happens when they get enough information from you? So I look at the app and I go to like the data collection stuff for advertising and so on. The two options are collect data to tailor ads to you, or collect data, get ads, but they're not tailored to you. Those are the two options.
That's terrible.
The app is like
That's
it's
terrible.
malware.
That is terrible.
Dude, I would
Using the
freak
website
out.
is okay, but using the app is crazy.
I would freak out if I was on my phone and I just was like on Twitter or something. I just get a pop up ad from Facebook, like just what the fuck?
Oh,
I could not believe it. I could not believe it. But yeah, Facebook is awful. It's terrible. Instagram is, like I said, fine for the people who use it. And then they bought Oculus and made Oculus shit. They have exclusive games for Oculus. They bought Beat Games, a studio that makes Beat Saber, a very good VR game. So it's like they've never done anything good. Like
Dude, I have always been turned off by like the layout of Facebook. Like
yeah,
I just don't understand how any of it works.
I think it's unintentionally tailored towards the older generation because
yeah.
it's not simplistic, but it's enough for
no.
them to
It
know
has like
how to
Yeah.
work it.
10,000 buttons on the screen at all times. Like,
But they somehow
dude.
understand it, and then they try to take your picture, and they're like, "How do you take my picture? Like you just press one button."
I just don't
Weird.
like that. And like older people that want to have some sort of social media, they always go to Facebook.
Yeah.
It's like that's just the
Yeah,
one that
yeah.
they at least have it in their head that they know
But
that it exists.
it's like
Social media, and they treat it the exact same, like with the posts and with the
Mhm.
comments, like these long thought out
yeah.
comments.
Yeah. Yeah. But what's it called? I'm trying to think of a word, but Facebook, when you think social media, if you're an older person and you're not all hip with all the shit that's happening now,
That neck move.
then like Facebook is synonymous with social media. The same
Oh
way
yeah.
that you used to say, let's Skype. And
Mhm.
that's just dead now because Microsoft just decided to murder Skype.
Yeah.
But like if you're an older person and somebody said social media, you'd think of Twitter or Facebook. And Twitter, still to a lot of people, is the platform where people say everything they're doing every second and take photos of their food.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they still think it is, and all it is now is YouTubers, idiots, and politics.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's the whole platform.
Pretty much.
Like I think it's I don't think this is a great thing, but I usually when I'm using Twitter, I use that to keep up with like current events and stuff that's going
So do I.
on.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I use
Yeah.
it to know an event happened, not what
Yeah.
happened in the event,
Yeah.
because yeah, it's
Because
so
you'll get
hard
every
to
sort
get.
of
Yeah,
view of
exactly.
it on there.
Yeah, yeah.
You can never know exactly what actually happened.
People on Twitter are crazy.
Um,
Like I didn't know
Yeah.
people that crazy existed until I used Twitter.
I just looked up how Instagram Reels works,
Yeah.
and it is actually like exactly the same as TikTok. Like this is
Let me
like
see
the
this.
exact same thing. Um, it basically you can find it on the explore page. Like you can go there and then I think just scroll straight through. But then also if you go to someone's account, you know how you have like your posts
Oh my God, it's
and what
exactly
you're
the
tagged
same.
in. Well, there's another one that's going to get added and that's your reels. And I
Right.
think you can also see it from like the where your stories are as well. So I don't know. It looks like it actually works exactly the same as TikTok, which I mean, if they're able to do that, that's a it's a good move from them. Like
Yeah,
that's huge.
definitely.
Yeah, and it'll be a good transitioner for everyone that's going from
And
TikTok
it
to
also
they could go
says
over to
that
Instagram.
there you can select audios from their music library, and it says they already have partnered with a bunch of different music labels.
Right.
So you
Okay.
got like a crazy amount of songs. I know you have like a bunch of songs to be able to use on like stories and stuff anyways now, so I'd
Yeah.
imagine you can use the same ones there.
Let's just hope it's identical, but they remove obviously the spyware component, but they remove the horrible content aware voice filter that just makes everything unfunny. Do you know what I'm talking about? The one that makes their voice like fluctuate.
Okay, yeah, I think I know what you're talking
Oh
about.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like those sort of filters and stuff.
You could make a funny joke if you use that filter. I'm sitting here like,
But you have to understand, some people like just like the sounds, like some of the original sounds that people make.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm sure you guys have seen it, like where it's I can't describe it. Where it's like it cuts. It's like doo doo doo. You know what I'm talking about? I can't. I don't know.
I
It's
have
hard to
no
describe
idea
it.
what you just said.
It's hard to
I
describe
have
it
no
without
idea
a
what you just
video.
said.
It's hard to describe without a video, but if you see it, you know what I'm talking about. It's just
what
like
was it
that
like?
noise.
Was it like do 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 or I?
Yeah. I swear to God. I
Yeah.
swear to God.
You guys,
Yeah,
you guys sound like Mr. Krabs with his song.
No, but I'm just saying, like, it's just the
Song that goes
sound that
beep boop
people
boop beep.
like. All right, I'm fucking done. I'm done with TikTok. I'm done talking about it.
No, like what? Is there any other context that you have other than like, is it a song or is it just the sound?
It's just a sound, but I'm
Okay.
saying like people use just the sound and make any video, and because that sound's in it, they think it's funny. Like people
Okay,
have that
okay.
kind of sense of humor
Oh
on TikTok.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can think of one like that.
I mean, I can think
It's
of
a
just
sound.
the
And
Flintstones running sound. That one can get me every
Oh.
time, bro. If I just hear it,
No,
that
I was
I
gonna
think
talk
it's so
about
like
funny.
the
I was gonna talk about the one with Mr. Krabs, well, the robot.
Oh my
and
God.
like the people of data one or whatever. Like,
Skip it up and get it.
you guys hear that sound and you lose it. You are
That's
so
just too
gone.
funny.
well, just because my girlfriend keeps showing them to me the accent challenge ones.
Okay, yeah, I know which one you're talking
Those
about.
aren't- Some of them are like kind of funny, but it's like
I
for
think
the
It's
they
just
most
were
the
part,
kind of
funny.
sense of humor people have on TikTok.
Yeah, I think they were funny at a certain
Nah.
point, like right when they
Yeah,
That
started.
was
exactly.
one of the like one of those first things on TikTok. Those like one week like doing this, those
Oh,
things.
that one.
And then like
Yeah,
1 month,
yeah, and then
yeah.
Oh.
that led into ones where people just do like a diary of using an accent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And like, there were ones that were like actually real, like they were doing them from different cities and stuff. And then
Yeah.
people saw one that was like they were exaggerating the accent so much that they were just like, let me just do one where every sound is inaudible and you can't even tell what I'm saying. Like,
But yeah, what was that? Oh, what was the one you showed me where he says a word and it's like a single syllable? He just goes like,
oh yeah, it was like he was just breathing. Like it was just some word and he just goes like it was just a breath.
I know
Like
exactly what you're talking about.
yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking
it's
about.
so good. It's so good.
Yeah, like it was good when it first started, but I think to a certain extent it just gets overused and it
Mhm.
gets
Yeah,
like
definitely.
it's like music. It's like music. When you hear a song too much, and it's like, it starts to get old.
But I think that type of stuff is actually great for the
Okay,
app.
I got it.
Okay,
I got it. My
that's
bad,
what
go ahead, my bad.
separates TikTok from Vine is like, even though it's a longer joke, it still works and like people
Yeah.
find
Well,
ways to actually.
the thing with TikTok too is it's not just dancing, fuck's sake, and it's not just comedy. It's like whatever. Like
Yeah.
You post
people
whatever.
can just talk about stuff, recent
Mhm.
events, whatever, and they don't, unless it's about Tiananmen Square, they don't get banned. But
Jesus.
but like yeah, it's different to Vine in the sense that like people have branched out, and because it's longer, you can have like when TikTok started, everything was like challenge videos,
Mhm.
like where it's like the one with the falling in reverse song, and they like dress up like some fucking idiot, and then they're wearing like it's like they've got the bad guy outfit. They're like a complete clown, but like.
Or like the wipe challenge on the
Oh
on the
yeah.
mirror.
I hate that.
There's just a
Yeah,
lot more
yeah.
you can do with it, and I think people get a lot more creative in terms of what they do.
TikTok
Because you
Alright.
could
now
literally
is
do anything on there.
yeah,
All right,
it's a
what is
This
million
is the
this?
times
noise
better
I
than
was talking
TikTok a
about.
year
So
ago.
you guys can stop roasting me and
Yeah,
stop calling me Mr. Krabs.
Beep, boop, boop, beep.
Oh,
You hear it? Did you hear the whole thing, or did it not pick up?
yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Or
Like
wait,
my
It's
play it.
girlfriend
it's
finds
from
those and sends them
something,
to me because she just thinks everything that has that noise is just hilarious.
but like yeah, I've seen memes of that. Have you seen the one where it's a dog and it rolls over and it turns into a like like a baguette and
I
and
don't
it
think
just
I
and it just says he is bread. How? Why?
Like,
Oh,
what?
that's the first one I saw. Yeah.
He is bread. Oh,
Yeah, I
But,
think.
like, I don't know what the sound is from. Like, I know it's from something. It's not just made for comedy, but
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah, I think a lot of people think, you know, how the app worked and like the videos on it, they think Vine was better, but like there's a
really?
lot more like I think it's because of like the iconic factor of some of the Vines where it's been like internet memes for years and they just live on,
Yeah,
but
but
there's
like,
not like
that's
TikToks
not.
like that.
Yeah, that's not objectively looking at a platform. That's just looking at what came from it 5 years ago.
Yeah. So
That's the
I
problem with
I
that.
would
Yeah.
say TikTok at least how it works and the videos uploaded is 10 times better than Vine. Like there's so much more you
Yeah.
can do with it.
And Vine, people would just resort to the same joke because it was 6 seconds long.
Yeah.
You saw that so much. Like very,
Like
very big Vine stars, like Mr. Legend Darius, if you remember, or Darius,
Hmm.
if you remember him existing. The like man had like the same punchline in like 50
I know
times.
exactly what videos you're talking about too. I followed him on Instagram. I don't even know if I still do, but
Right. Is he
I don't
like
know.
alive still or?
I think so. I mean, so many of these Vine stars, like, I don't know how they make money. Like,
King Batch.
I
Yeah.
just don't. Well, he's like an actual
Oh,
celebrity.
oh,
I
But
don't know
like
how. That
some of
dude's
these
not funny.
people, some of these
comically
people that
large
like
spoon.
they've got like 1 million followers on Instagram, but they don't do anything else. Like they just post on
Yeah.
Instagram every once in a while. I never see anything else. Like how what where is their source of income? I don't know if they just do like one
People
sponsored Instagram
people
post and they can get
pay
money, but
so
like
much for sponsors. Like you could you could do a sponsored video and you could then get that money and like pay somebody like an accountant or something to tell you how to invest it and you could be set for like a while
I
from
guess
one
they could
sponsorship.
like be investing in stuff and that's how
Do
they
you remember when I don't know if you saw it, but Jake Paul, Rice Gum, and probably some other scumbag on YouTube, yeah, did this like did this like real it's like a real life loot box opening thing where it's a website and you spend real money and you could like win a house or win a car or win an iPhone. It's so weird.
I've
Was
seen
it
the
like a
win
And
YouTube
iPhone one.
video?
I've seen the win iPhone
yeah,
ones.
so they have videos and they're sponsored and I can't I watched a video talking about both of them. I think PewDiePie had one talking about it. I think Pyrocynical might have too. Um, but those sponsorship deals for that shit is like they were getting a royalty for people using the website through their code for the sponsorship. And they
Mm,
also got like 200 grand. Like
Jesus Lord.
it like Rice Gum was like free money.
Right.
Yeah. So, like,
The way that they get money at the point they are in terms of their celebrity status, like money comes so easily. Like they don't have to do much
yeah.
to be able to get that
Yeah, exactly. You
large
get
of an
to a
amount.
point where your wealth creates wealth.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
don't need effort to create wealth. There's no work involved. You pay other people to do it for you. Jeff Bezos is probably a trillion times past that mark um, of where you have to work for money.
Yeah.
That is insane. Um, but yeah, there's definitely a point where I'd say it wouldn't be single digit millions. Like I'd say it'd even be more than that. But there's a point where you pay people to handle like investment properties, like buying stock, stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and the money you're making from doing that completely outweighs the cost of paying those people. And
Yeah.
then or you could just drop ship and buy stuff off the internet and then go, I'm starting this on my website,
Dude, that
and then
was
you can be smug about it on
dude,
TikTok.
that was such a huge thing on TikTok and I thought that was ridiculous.
Mhm.
Like you guys are breaking the law. Like
Yeah, I know.
you're
It's
just
not
incriminating
taxable
yourself
income.
on
Like,
these videos. Like I'm
oh,
gonna show you guys how to drop ship. I make $10,000 a month from doing this, and I don't do any sort of work whatsoever. I just click
I don't
things on my
pay any
screen.
taxes. The IRS is
Yeah,
now
I
at my
don't pay any
door now that I
taxes on
made
it
this
either.
video.
Like, what is? Why would you show children that? Like, I know I'm not a
No.
child, but there are a lot of, and anyone under 18 is a child,
Yeah.
and it like,
Anybody under 17 or 16 is searching they like want to be a YouTuber and they're
yeah,
searching for the best get rich quick scheme
mm-hmm,
they can find. Like, and if they see one of those videos, they're like, "Oh, wow." And then they just get arrested for felony tax evasion.
like,
But that's okay.
and I remember seeing some video on TikTok of some girl that's like a programmer, and she was like, "Here's
Yeah.
how to become a programmer and make $100,000 at 19 years old." I'm like, what is this? And I watched the video and she's like, you
And-
basically pay for these classes that are like $1,000 a piece. You got to pay for like 5 classes, and then you're just a programmer. And it's like, I don't know if that's how it works really, but
Yeah.
You just go to university and you just do a 3 year degree and then you just get hired automatically.
yeah.
People pay for your services.
It's like what?
Like,
You don't
Pretty
even
sure
have to
that's not how it
search for a
works.
job. You just get hired. Like,
Yeah.
you just step out of like the front door of the university and somebody's like, "Come with me to your new job."
well, if you use
Like,
TikTok, they already know who you are, so they just
Yeah.
find you on the
oh
street and
yeah.
just pull you in.
And then it turns out like the person is actually just a member of the IRS and you're about to get arrested.
Oh
for
yeah,
tax
yeah, because you've
evasion.
been evading taxes. Like,
That's stupid.
Speaking
Oh
of
man, it's like,
go
oh yeah,
ahead,
you
go
go,
ahead.
you go. No, you go.
I was gonna change the subject. I was
Oh,
gonna say
okay, okay, just real quick. It's like you want to be a programmer. Step one is start when you're like 12 years old or younger. Start experimenting with stuff on a
Mhm.
computer, and then you just naturally ease your way into it because it's a language. Like you need to
yeah,
actually understand it and be able to translate it to stuff like the stuff that you can just go, oh, this. I say there's 2 words, and it just means it does this, and I know how to change
yeah.
it to what I want it to
I
do.
think people making videos like that on TikTok of saying like, oh, all you have to do is take these 5 courses and you can become a programmer. Like, I don't think. I think it's misinformation to say that to younger people because they think
Yeah.
it's that easy when they just think that's all there is to it.
Yeah, it's not. That's programming is so in depth. It is insane.
Mark is
Like,
frozen for me.
Yeah,
Are you
he's
serious?
frozen for me too.
Let me
stop
just
making
screw
fun
up
of my
everything really
internet.
quick.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we're not.
Let me just
as you're
I
saying,
think
Mark,
I think
programming
I
is
think
so in depth. Yep.
but yeah, programming is just so in depth. There's so much to it. Like if you just go on a computer, like this is the thing part. Like, but if you just go on like files and stuff, like for like a game example, there's so much stuff in there that you have to like.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just insane. It's hard to explain. There's so much to it.
Yeah.
Like just take 5 courses and you're automatically a pro at programming.
Mhm.
You're gonna get a job right when you step out. Like that's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Speaking of money,
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes' contract,
Yay!
10 years, $450 million, has potential to be $503 million.
That's insane.
Now, where's that
bro.
potential come from? Like, why does he not?
I could look at that.
Because I think it was like 400 million guaranteed. Like, if he gets injured, like that's the
I thought
injury
it was
clause.
I thought it was 450 when he was injured. But
141.48 million injury guarantee.
Okay, that's still crazy. Like, imagine you get
the
injured,
guarantee, yeah.
and over 10
But
years
dude,
you make 140
exactly.
million
A
dollars.
10-year contract is. I've never heard of a 10-year contract in the NFL.
Well,
ever.
yeah, in the NFL, I don't think there's been anything like that. That's like a baseball
That's
contract.
insane.
That is like
Honestly,
a big,
because that's not even an NBA contract.
Yeah.
well, NBA is like what most like what 4, 5.
Five.
No,
maybe?
you got to remember Scottie Pippen. He signed a garbage deal. It was a 9-year, $54 million or
Okay,
something
well,
like that.
That was okay. I'm talking about like right now. Like I was talking about like back
Mhm.
when Jordan days. I was talking about like right now. Like the most people are gonna sign for is like
Back
4
in the
years,
olden days.
maybe 5.
In the olden
Well, then
days.
like in the 80s, bro, in the 90s.
Yeah, well, usually in the NBA they add like a player option for like the 5th year, or a team option
Yeah, the
is the
5th
5th
year, okay.
year. But
Yeah, most of it is 4, probably.
to make that much over 10 years, I mean, it makes sense in the NFL. I think NFL players are actually insanely underpaid for what their sport
Demand
In terms of the
Demand,
sports world,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
In terms of
And also, they could be like screwed for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
of paying somebody that much money, though, I still don't get it. Same with NBA.
Yeah.
Maybe like deals like LeBron's deal with Nike and Kawhi's deal with New Balance and stuff like that. But I don't see contracts like
The leagues just make that much money that they would be the league would be bringing in way too much profit for it to be legal. Like,
if you want to talk
that's
about
just-
league profit, you have to mention the WNBA, because remember those players were complaining and they want more money, but
Well, they
nobody
can't.
watches your games.
Yeah,
exactly.
like they
That's
can't
the-
get
it's all
paid
about
more.
supply and demand. Yeah.
Yeah.
if nobody watches it, it's not worth anything.
Yeah. And isn't the NFL is the most watched sport in the U.S., right?
I know
Like,
it's not
I think-
baseball, even though that's America's
Yeah,
sport.
I think-
it's definitely
I think-
not baseball.
It like the 4 major sports, I believe it goes the NFL, NBA now, and then MLB, NHL.
You're
And
not
I think
considering
NBA is
soccer
about to
a Major
cross
League
pass.
sport?
No,
Not
I'm talking
considering
about in the
soccer,
U.S.
MLS?
Yeah, but it's not bigger than the NHL.
I've never heard of soccer in the US.
That's
The
still
league, in terms of how much money they make, is not bigger than the NHL. The 4 power sports are those 4.
Yeah, but Zlatan Ibrahimovic just came over not too long ago. That was big. That was big
Yeah.
for the MLS.
Here, let me.
I don't know. NBA, the NFL, and the NHL are all like household names, even here. Like I know
Mhm.
what those are. I have never heard of soccer in the
That doesn't
in the
surprise
US.
me. That doesn't surprise me.
Oh,
Like
wait.
the minimum for contracts in the NBA is like 500,000, 750,000. The
So
minimum
you're
for
still
a
getting a bag,
contract,
bro.
you're still getting a bag. The minimum
Yeah.
for a contract in the MLS is like 50,000, 60,000. It's like, a college degree. Like what a college degree is worth
Right.
in the United States.
Okay, so professional sports leagues, number 1, this is the entire world. Number 1 is the NFL. 2 is the MLB still
In the world?
in the world. Number
Holy
3
shit.
is the NBA. Number
Okay.
4 is the Premier League for soccer.
Yeah.
And then
That's what I thought would
5
be like up there. Yeah.
5 is the NHL.
Phew.
That's crazy.
And-
That's
and what's
pure
the,
revenue for the entire league.
Yeah.
So that's why I was saying that the NHL is in there as the 4th one. I thought the NBA was past MLB at this point.
That's crazy that ice hockey is so big. Like
Oh
And-
yeah.
it's
So
it's like-
big just because it has people from literally all around the world.
hmm
yeah.
That's
So
what the
it
NBA
brings
is
a lot
turning
of-
into.
Yeah.
I don't think in terms of the amount of people, but there's people from around the world. But in the
Mhm.
NHL, there's multiple people from multiple countries. Not like
Yeah.
the NBA is not like that yet. Like,
Yeah.
didn't the NBA just get its first Japanese drafted player?
I have no idea.
Probably. Well, I mean, they have had Japanese players before. I think like recruiting is different than actually just having those players in the league. Like for the draft, you focus on the colleges and maybe some Euro leagues and stuff. So maybe that's why they don't get drafted as much, but I think they still have representation in the league.
Like like G League contracts, but not worth spending a pick on. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I'm trying to look. Okay, MLS is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14th in terms of revenue in the world.
That honestly is higher than I would think it would be.
How many are there on the
Yeah.
list?
Well, they don't have a number, but there's a lot of them. Oh, wait.
Okay.
Oh, no. Yeah, there is no number. But the bottom professional league is the Russian Volleyball Super League, if you wanted to know.
Jeez, bro.
But it's like, yeah, with NBA, until I had met Logan, I never knew there was a WNBA. I'd never heard of it in my life. And I remember he said something about it, and I was like, "There's a women's NBA like league," and then he just started laughing because
Well,
like,
because I thought that was funny, like that you just didn't know that.
yeah, no, but I mean, like, it's so unknown anywhere but the US, and even in the
Yeah.
US, nobody watches it. Like,
I mean, they don't
Yeah,
have. I think they're just trying to start having a professional softball league. Because
right.
they don't have like a women's baseball league; they have softball, and
Yeah.
I think that is just starting, but it pays so little that you would have to have a second job.
It's
if you
not
were in
even
that
worth
league.
it.
Yeah, it's It's not worth it.
Because
at
you have to
that point.
devote so much time to practice and then, getting your body right and then traveling. It's not worth it if you're not
Yeah.
getting paid. Not even,
Yep.
you don't even have to get paid as much as NBA players and MLB players and NFL players do, but it's not worth it to get paid the same amount of money as like somebody that doesn't have a college degree. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always said this about the
It's crazy.
WNBA. All they really have to do is just lower the rims. Make it like 9-foot or 8-foot hoops. For real.
No.
Like, bro,
Yeah.
that'd be
No.
wild.
I know what you're saying.
Bro,
I know what you're
imagine
saying.
Brittany Griner just like free throw line dunking over like 8
Like,
people.
that's
Like,
the
that'd
thing,
be
right?
crazy.
You've made the same court for the same sport. Sorry for the rhymes. Which,
Bars.
but
Bars.
but
The athletic
there's
capability isn't the
differences.
same.
Yeah, there's differences in muscle mass and height and everything. And it's like you can't expect it to be the same. Oh, it's almost like women have different expectations in weightlifting and in boxing and in martial arts. And
Yeah,
it's like,
I feel
oh,
like the
but with
WNBA is the one where they just try to make it as close to the men's sport as they can. I don't
Okay,
know
so
if
I see where
they
you're coming from now. Yeah.
I don't know if they
Yeah.
try to do it like to keep the same level of competition. Like, I don't know if they would consider lowering the rim. It would make the sport less competitive.
Lowering the rim or shortening the court.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like, I don't know if they would want.
But then the problem is like today, sorry guys, but like people would complain because people would be like, "Oh, you're trying to
Yeah.
by doing this to make the sport better to watch because it's a faster paced game because it's actually condensed so it moves the same as a normal basketball game
Mhm.
because you have people who unfortunately aren't as good as the male players just because that's how it works and it sucks that it works that way, but that's how it works. And people complain because you're like, oh, you're trying to say that these people aren't capable of what these people can do.
Yeah, I think
That's exactly what I
WNBA
was
players can
thinking.
have like the same like sort of basketball IQ or like skill set, but they don't have the athletic capability
Basketball
of
IQ.
what?
Basketball IQ. Sorry, that got me. That was just like,
Well, you've never heard that term before because you don't
I've
know
never heard
anything
that
about
term
basketball.
before.
But
Yeah.
that's
like in terms of how the sports work, like just knowing how to read things, that's basketball IQ. But
Yeah,
I think they can be at the same level there, but they just don't have the athletic capabilities to
yeah, exactly.
be
In terms
free
of
throw line dunking
like,
on a 10-foot rim. Like, there's no dunk contest in the WNBA. Put it
because
down
only
to
one
8
person in the
feet.
league can dunk.
Yeah, put
Yeah.
it down to 8 feet. You got people triple windmilling between the legs. Like, that'd be
Yeah.
insane.
So wait, are you
Triple
saying
but
the difference between men and women should be treated the same as it is with baseball and softball, shortening the field?
Yeah. Like
yes,
that's why I don't
yeah.
understand why the
I don't
WNBA
know.
is the one that's like different from the other ones.
Maybe it should happen, but I think today in this current
Yeah, if it
time,
happened
it would
now,
be
yeah.
very, very frowned
Yeah.
upon.
Yeah,
Mhm.
very, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the
That's why
WNBA
that's
didn't
kind
even
of like
start that long ago. I think it started in the late 90s, right? Like, it didn't.
Diana
So.
Taurasi just retired like last year, and she's like the all-time leading point getter and
Yeah.
assist getter, and yeah,
Logan, just remember though, 1990 was 30 years ago.
yeah,
so
that is true. That is true.
I think it started in like 95. Because who was it?
That's
I saw it. It
crazy.
was like the
Like,
anniversary of the
oh.
game where she had 107 points in a WNBA game.
What?
What's her name? I forget. That's so like rude to say, but I know her. Like I
Are you
would.
talking about Cheryl Miller dropping like 200 in a
Yeah.
high school game?
No,
That's the only
no.
thing I've ever heard
I
of.
think that's because that's what I've heard. Yeah.
107
you
points
said
in
that, and
WNBA
Jayden
game.
just goes, "What?
What?
Yeah.
What
I
are
don't,
you talking about?
What's her name? Quick!"
Oh my
Logan
god,
or
I'm
Tom,
so
have you
mad.
guys? I know Mark has. Have you guys ever sat through a high school girls basketball game?
My sister
No,
played basketball in
no.
middle school, and I had to sit through those, so that's even
God
worse than
bless
high
you.
school.
That is so bad.
I've sat through a I've forgotten what the game's called. Let me just make sure before I make a fool of myself. Netball. Netball's the one. I've sat through netball. Do you have that there?
Is it like volleyball?
Don't know what that is.
No. So it sounds like it, doesn't it?
It does.
It's like basketball. So they don't have what's it called? Wait, because I just don't know anything. You have the hoop, and what's the panel called behind
The
it?
backboard.
The backboard, yeah.
Backboard. Okay, yeah. They don't have one of those. It is a pole with just a hoop
Don't,
coming
dude.
off. I'm not
That's
kidding.
crazy.
And
Can they go behind it though?
I don't think so.
So they're still like out of bounds and boundaries that you have to play within.
So yeah, so basically you have to throw like up so it goes back into it. You can't rely on something bouncing off a board.
Oh,
And it's
Hmm.
it's like a huge majority like a women's game, and they're given I'm not sure if they do this in the official game, but at least at school ones and stuff, they're given like a vest that goes over whatever they're wearing that says what their position is. And if you get the ball, you can't move. You have to stand still, and it's about passing it to your teammates to get down the court.
Okay.
are there like is there like a 3-point line as well, or is everything worth the
Dude,
same amount of points?
I'm not a woman, so I don't know. But,
Okay, yeah.
I'm not sure how the points work in the game, but it's not it's not like volleyball. It's like a edited version of basketball. Let me just look at this. There are two clear ways to score points. Clear ways. In open play, if a shot is successfully scored from inside the goal circle, the team gains 1 point. And if the team is awarded technical foul, then they receive a free shot at the net. Okay, so I think you get 1 point. I think it's just 1 point. You have to be within a certain distance of the I don't know if they call it a hoop or what, but
That's
yeah,
cool. I've
so
never really heard of that. That's pretty cool.
yeah, I don't know like what countries that's in. Well, I know it's here. But yeah, it's sort of an interesting game, but there's no like big sort of league for it or anything. Here we have AFL, which is football, which is different. It's not like your football. And then we have NRL, which is also football, but different. So
Rugby, right?
NRL, yeah, NRL is rugby, and AFL is just referred to as football. And you don't like run at people. They still like run on the field, but they kick to pass it. They don't kick like across the ground like in soccer. They kick like high up into the air. And if you talk to anybody who keeps up with sport in Australia and you talk about AFL, they're like, "Oh, a bunch of pussies." Like they treat the game like it's not worth anything, but because they all love NRL, but AFL requires more skill. Because you have to be able to kick a ball, and they kick that thing so far, it's crazy, and like it's so high up. And then with rugby, they still kick it and stuff, but um, nowhere near the same level. And it's just like a bunch of clowns running into each other. I'm not. There was actually a guy. His son is in the league now, and this guy, when he would like come up to somebody and go to tackle them or whatever, I'm not kidding, he would stick his thumb in their asshole. That's not a
Oh,
joke. I'm 100% serious, and
oh.
it would throw them off the game. That's a real thing that happened.
I'm gonna have to leave
So
the
that's
call now.
cool. Yeah, dude,
That is terrible.
I can't believe that. And his son is part of today, and it's like, yeah, you wonder if like he taught his son the same tactic. And like, oh my god.
That is terrible.
Logan, you good over there, bro?
Okay. Lisa Leslie.
Oh, dude, yeah, she's like one of the GOAT WNBA players.
Yeah, she
I
was
feel
she
sorry
was the
for her. Her
first
parents obviously hated her.
she was the first
Lisa Leslie.
first person to dunk in a WNBA game.
And when was that?
And then here it is. Okay. Um was it in it might have been in high school.
I think it was in high school because I
Talk
seen
about
it
Cheryl
on.
Miller, bro.
I seen it on
No.
Instagram.
Lisa Leslie, I believe it was in high school. In 16 minutes on the floor, she had 101 points.
Oh my god.
16
I think
minutes.
I seen that. Yeah.
Wow. When was this?
Who's she playing against?
Hold on.
I know, right?
Yeah, it was
Like,
no
that's
one
the question.
apparently.
That is the question.
That's insane, bro.
Mark, she's playing against our high school.
Yeah.
That's
Girls' team
okay.
is not very good.
It's like when somebody does something well in in
Oh
a
my
game,
God, Logan.
like a video game, and you're like, who are you playing against?
Okay.
Logan, you
What?
good, dude?
So apparently February 7th, 1990,
Oh, so
she
30
had
years ago.
she had 101 points in 16 minutes. Apparently it was in the first half.
Oh my god.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was a high school game. All right. In the first half, bro.
Could you
Why-
imagine being on the other team?
49 points in the first quarter, 52 in the second, bro. That is ridiculous.
If
So-
I'm
Being on the other
so-
team and just being like,
I can't do anything.
At halftime, dude, at halftime, she had 101 points. The rest of her team had 1 point, so they had
Oh my
102
God.
combined, and then the other team
Jeez.
had 23. It was 102 to 23 at halftime, bro.
Oh my god.
Gotta
is
score
she the Jared of the high school basketball team?
Dude,
Just
that is
carrying the whole team.
ridiculous. Apparently, they weren't. These are direct quotes from her. The points I scored weren't easy. There were not a whole lot of layups. They sent all 5 players after me the whole game, and I tried not to pay attention to it. She went 37 of 56 from the floor, 27 of 35 from the free throw line.
She had the first dunk. She was obviously pretty tall, so she's probably catching the ball up here and
Yeah.
just putting it up.
I don't know.
Plus, she had 27 points from the free throw line. That's 27 easies.
Not for you, Mark.
No, what are you talking about, dude? My free throw was wet, dude. I think you're matching me up with Shaffer, bro.
I was like,
That dude Shaffer could not make a free throw. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, and then you get pissed and go and run back the other way. Or he'd
You're
scream. He'd
You're
be like,
impressed.
dude, that's what he does.
Okay.
Pre-game or like middle of the game, he'd miss. Just fuck. Just
he's
yell.
like, can't believe I just missed it that one time, you know? If you guys weren't watching, I would have got it, but like...
All right. So last thing I wanted to talk about was the
Bubble.
the NBA bubble, and because we talked about it on the last podcast about how the restart was gonna be, but now we know a
Mentioned
lot
the
of
breakdown of this contract. My bad.
now we know a lot of what the actual bubble looks like and how every player has to approach it. So they're all in separate rooms. They are tested daily.
That's insane.
That's
Yeah.
That's good, though. They really need to.
it is,
After
but
what
like,
happened with that what was that other team? Was that baseball? They had like
oh
a
yeah,
huge
Mhm.
everybody got sick. Yeah.
University of Texas, college football.
yeah, that too.
Was it football?
There was,
Okay.
I think there was an MLB team too. That had like
Okay, alright.
it was like
Okay.
multiple players on the team and then a bunch of their staff at the stadium had it. but they get tested daily. How long have they been there? Like 4 or 5 days.
No, I don't even think that
Mm.
long, to be honest with you.
But
Maybe 2
they're
or 3.
yeah.
yeah,
So
okay.
they're like isolated in their rooms. They can go out, but they can't be with each other. And I saw a video of J.R. Smith complaining about it because like they're all being quarantined the same. Why can't like he just go over to someone else's room and just
Yeah.
sit with them?
A grown man. Why is that such a big deal, dude? You're
Yeah,
like
yeah,
34. Why do
true.
you want to go? Why? I don't get that.
You're supposed to go sit with his bud, dude. There's nothing wrong
But
with that, eh?
who was it?
Like,
I think it was PJ
Alright.
Tucker was complaining about the. Well, he wasn't complaining about it, but he was like, it feels like a brain reset every time they shove that needle up your nose, and they do it every single day. Like they're just pressing the reset
oh,
button on your brain.
I don't know if
Um,
Mark, did you ever play AAU basketball?
I did not.
I played travel basketball for a year, and it's not obviously it's not exactly the same, but you know, from where we are, all the tournaments that are close are like an hour and a half, 2 hours away. So we'd have to stay up because we play Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday morning. So we just get a hotel, eat whatever, go play, back to hotel, relax. So it's kind of like the same thing. It's like a big AAU tournament. I know like John Morant and some other players said like the same kind of thing. It just feels like AAU.
and plus, like they can bring whatever they want to the hotel too.
Yeah, and can't they order food? Like PJ Tucker's ordering TVs and all these shoes.
Well,
like,
no,
can you
they
just
can't order
food?
food apparently.
Then
'Cause-
what's the difference with like a TV?
Yeah, I know.
don't get that.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. But that's
you
one of
eat
the
a
big
TV?
things. They're complaining about the food that they're getting. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
the food from the hotel, but they're saying a lot of people are saying they're
it's
complaining
like
about
prison food, just like straight
Yeah.
up gruel.
people are saying like that they're complaining about what it looks like and what the food is. I think they're
Or
more
pictures of these
Right.
NBA players' food in the past 3 days.
yeah.
that I've ever had
I
on my
think they're
timeline.
more complaining about the portions that they're being given. Like they're not
Right.
being
'cause
given
they're
a
all
lot of
250
Yeah,
plus pounds.
yeah.
They need to eat.
So like Joel Embiid was talking about how he's gonna lose 60 pounds by the time the season starts. Like
He's gonna
they
look
really-
like you, bro.
yeah, like they really do. I really don't think they're complaining about how the food looks or how it tastes. Like they just want
They're not getting
more of
enough.
it. They're not getting enough of it, which
Yeah.
makes sense. But they also said once they're done like being quarantined, like after 14 days, the food is gonna get better. I don't know if at that point they can order food or the hotel kitchen is just able to get different stuff. But like
Right.
Did you see Patrick Beverley's gaming setup? There's a video of it. It was pretty popular. Like Bleacher Report reposted, I think.
I think I saw a few because I saw Myers Leonard his too.
Well, I'm just referring to Patrick Beverley's, specifically because he did everything in the room, like all the shirts that were stacked on top of each other. I know you've probably seen that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But he showed like his countertop and next to his microwave, and there's just like a cup of mac and cheese, like granola bars. Like this dude looks like he's a freshman at a university he's never
Oh
been
yeah,
to before.
dude. In the video J.R. Smith that I was watching, he he showed like a bunch of candy and stuff. He was
Yeah,
like,
like-
they expect us to eat this shit. They're like M&Ms and Starburst. They're like, we're grown ass men. They expect us to eat this shit. Dude, the internet in those hotels has to be fried, bro. Like
no doubt, dude.
every NBA player is on
They're gonna
that
be
shit, and they got like
lagging
80
it.
things on that thing.
They're gonna
People
be
are bringing
lagging
their
out
own
of
systems. They're probably bringing their own routers. And
Yeah,
stuff,
they're
too,
all
to the game.
streaming too, because they're all
Yeah.
streaming on Twitch.
Oh.
Like,
Oh,
We were talking about it earlier before we
Jesus.
started. You seen the picture of DeAndre Ayton? He was holding this freaking monitor. He had that thing palmed in his hand.
yeah, just palming his monitor, walking into the hotel.
Dude, that's insane.
So I think
From like a, oh no, just real quick,
Yeah,
just like from a technological standpoint, with all having the same like wireless access points and everything, that's a nightmare because they're all going to be on the same channel, which means they're all the same frequency, and it means they're all cutting into each other and bleeding. Oh,
Bro, it's like a
God.
fucking
That's
DDoS attack on the hotel, bro. They got the whole fucking league on that shit.
Yeah, that's gonna be terrible,
I
bro.
also, dude, this whole video I watched of J.R. Smith was him on Instagram Live and him like exposing all this shit. And he got like a text at the end of it from some NBA executive like saying, "Hey,
Oh,
bro, you got to
no.
get off Instagram Live. Stop showing all this stuff." He was like,
Didn't
"Yeah,
he
they're-"
just get signed?
yeah."
He did.
He was like,
This dude.
"Damn, man, they're shutting me down." And then he just
This
clicks
dude
off
just
Instagram
got
Live.
signed last week, and he's been more of a problem than anyone else in the
Yeah.
entire league.
But he was showing when they were getting their food for dinner, and they all open up their doors, and everyone like is lying down the hallway just
Yeah.
peeking out their doors, screaming at each
Yeah.
other like they're a bunch of kids. That's just so funny, bro.
But dude, to have that huge ass hotel with all those rooms, that just like the thought of them playing at Disney in this giant ass resort is just insane to me.
Yeah.
Well, they're thinking about already reopening Disney to the public.
What do you have?
Yeah, that's insane, bro.
That's terrible, dude.
That's
Just because
crazy.
it's in
That's so-
Florida.
That's terrible. Like that's actually
So,
horrible.
Is this Disneyland or Walt Disney World?
Disney
Whatever one in Florida, I don't know the
Land?
difference.
Yeah, okay.
I think
Walt,
Disneyland's-
Walt Disney World is Florida.
World.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
A world.
Yeah.
That's insane though.
Um,
Like, that's just. There's so many people that
Yeah,
go there.
Florida's
There's just
crazy.
germs. There's just germs everywhere.
Oh
when
yeah,
you think
Florida
about it.
doesn't
There's
care
just
about
germs
anything
everywhere.
now.
That's true.
They're in too deep to stop. They're just going for
Yeah.
it.
They don't give a fuck. They're just all at the beach. They're like, oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Let's go for a swim. And it's just like,
let's go for it.
COVID-19 everywhere.
Yeah,
Dude, that's what it is. It's everywhere.
Also in that video, J.R. Smith, he was showing his bed, and it didn't have any sheets on it. It didn't have any sheets on the bed. It didn't have like a comforter or anything. And all they gave him was this like infant-sized blanket. And he's on the video like, bruh, they expect LeBron to cover up with this shit. They expect AD to cover up with this shit. Like, it's this infant fucking blanket, and they're expecting 7-foot NBA players to cover up with that. I don't know if it was just J.R. Smith's room that he just didn't have anything on the bed, but I thought that shit was hilarious. It was just a mattress.
Jeez, bro.
All right, I think we beat everything to death, to be honest.
I didn't cover. I didn't
yeah.
cover the breakdown of the Mahomes contract.
I mean, you could say it real quick. I think I know what
Bro.
graphic you were talking about, like how
I
much he
found
makes a
two.
minute and stuff.
Did you see the other one posted by ESPN?
I'm not sure.
So-
no, I might have. I think I know.
So
what
it
you're
mentions the 503 mil, which is the most he can make.
talking about.
It says he could buy 167 million bottles of Heinz ketchup that are like the biggest size.
Yeah.
I mentioned
Why
ketchup
is
just
that?
because
Yeah,
just
how you
because
gonna-
Patrick Mahomes loves ketchup. Like he got a deal right
Right,
away just
okay.
because he loves ketchup. It says that's 41 million gallons, which fills 65 Olympic-sized swimming pools. The bottles would stretch about 3 times the diameter of the Earth and 6 times as long as the Great Wall of China.
That's insane.
And the other
That's a lot of
graphic,
ketchup.
the other graphic says this cat makes $1.60 per second, $96 a minute.
That's
dude,
crazy.
Right now, if my current job, if I
$96
work,
a minute.
if I work 8
$96
hours,
a minute.
exactly. If I work 8 hours of my current job right now, that's what this cat makes in a single minute. I just feel like such a piece of shit saying that.
Bro, I don't
yeah,
even make that much in 8 hours.
Oh,
It's ridiculous.
obviously,
Yeah.
I have a different currency, but I make, I think, just over $200 a day, and I work 8.5 hours, and then half gets taken off for lunch. But could you imagine making $96 an hour?
Yeah, Jayden, how
It says an
Sorry, a
hour.
minute?
It says
A
$5,742 an hour.
Jaden, how you were saying earlier, how it's like ridiculous the size of these contracts and stuff, which it is like an absurd amount of money, but compared to how much the league brings in, it's just like if you have a more profitable business,
You're allowed to get paid more money.
yeah, it just depends on how many people they have to pay. And with like the NFL, quarterbacks get paid more than any other position because they're more important.
Most valuable.
So like they're
most
more of
valuable,
like a
yeah.
manager in like a hierarchy of businesses. So you got to think about it like that. But that just him getting 500 million over 10 years shows how much the league brings in over 10 years. That's just one player bringing in 500 million.
Like comparing to other positions, like every single offseason it says, oh, this is the highest contract for a defensive end. Like just recently, I don't even know, Aaron Donald from the Rams, he signed like a $90 million contract. They're like, this is the biggest contract for a defensive player. Putting that in perspective with this contract makes it seem like it's absolutely nothing, which is insane.
Yeah, like Aaron Donald's getting like 90 million for 4 years, but Patrick Mahomes would get 90 million for 2.
Yeah, it's stupid.
He's getting
just
double
looking at
the
it like
amount of
that.
money. And Aaron Donald is a top 5, top 10 player in the league. But he's not a quarterback, so he doesn't get paid the same amount of money. He's not as important, even though he's just as talented at his position.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we beat every topic to death pretty much. We actually we went into everything, to be honest. That whole TikTok section went about 50 minutes, so that filled it up. Is the longest
right there.
Longest episode to date. Too bad we didn't have Shaffer to chime in about 3 lines every once in a while, but hey. We'll get him on another week.
How long is it so far?
It has been an hour and 17 minutes.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna say like an hour
2 hours.
50 or something.
No,
Yeah.
no, we're not there yet. But all right. Well, this has been episode 3 of the Creative Shooters podcast. Everyone's socials are linked down below. All the Creative Shooter socials. The TikTok may be gone soon. Who knows? I'll have to, fix that up on everything, get rid of that. But hey, if TikTok is gone, find us on Instagram Reels at Courageous Shooters. There you go. That's the best I can do there.
Oh, God.
Okay. Thank you for tuning in to episode 3 of the Creative Shooters podcast.